Indianapolis Colts play the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday, and we're going to talk about it. Zero to 100, that's easy, I done did it. Then the sheriff picked me up and my license is now suspended. They confiscated my weed and sent my truck up to the impound. Now I got a couple toys smoking on that real loud. Oh yeah, dual exhaust and the Swisher Sweet smelling like a 12-valve comments from way down the street. Great black pants, I ain't stopping, I'm a messy streets. Kinda hard to do when you living down in Tennessee. I'm Peyton Manning on a bad day, throwing Hail Marys while I'm pissing in my driveway. That was the song of the day. That is a 0 to 100 remix. But before we start anything conversation wise here, just want to let you guys know, if you watch this at all, watch me at all, I got a new microphone coming. This one isn't very good. I've tested them out and I realized that you kind of really got to have it super close to your face to really hear it, or really close to your mouth. So I'll be kind of holding it up way up here. And I noticed that people who display these mics like on TikTok Shop, they're holding it up here because you need it up here. Like, check this out, ready? What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right here, and then what's up, guys? Welcome back. See, that's like literally this far away from where it just was. So anyway, with that being addressed, I got a new microphone coming tomorrow. So next pod will be on the new mic. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it works out well. Anyway, Colts versus Steelers. Of course, just to break down what we're going to be getting into during this podcast here. So we'll do a breakdown of the Colts versus Steelers. We'll talk about JT winning Offensive Player of the Month, or AFC Offensive Player of the Month. Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward leave LSU. Both of them fired. Governor Scott Landry says, you're gone, basically. We'll get to the Colts and Steelers breakdown. We'll do a little Aaron Rodgers v. Daniel Jones breakdown. We'll talk about a little bit about Miles Turner, because he said something really stupid. He said that, Halliburton wouldn't be talking the same shit in the street as he does on the court. Yeah, no doubt, dude, because he's not playing basketball on the street. He's great at basketball, really, really great at basketball. You think Halliburton presents as, he's not a tough guy? I never thought one. You know what? We'll get into it here in a minute. People outside, we'll get into national media a little bit about how they don't believe in the Colts, although they should. And Jonathan Taylor's the MVP right now, so we will discuss all of that. Let's start with Miles Turner. So Miles Turner gets on the old podcast. I don't even know which one it was this time. All right. Here is what Miles had to say. I was trying to play it from the beginning. There we go. Listen to what Miles Turner has to say.
I just feel like Tyrese also, he knows he's protected too. So he can go out there talking shit, say whatever the hell he wants to do, and then, he knows he has backup at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Now, he's not going to be talking the same shit if you're in the middle of the street or whatever the fuck. No. That's what guys are doing this week. Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say. I forgot to say, it's Spooky Thunder,
No, so I'm just going to read you my response, okay? If they're saying that Halliburton... Well, here, let me just read what I said, okay? He's not going to be making... I put this in quotes. He's not going to be making the same... he's not going to be talking the same shit if he's on the street. Yeah, that makes sense. He's an NBA player playing in the NBA. On top of that, he's one of the best players in the NBA. So yeah, he's going to talk shit on the basketball court about his basketball abilities. Maybe not so much to a random dude on the street. You dumb fuck, Miles Turner. How he talks shit about his basketball ability, the likes of which drug your big liability ass to Game 7 last year. Shut the fuck up. And get better at basketball. 8 points and 6 rebounds a game ass. Goofy ass motherfucker. Imagine Hallie gets on a podcast and says, you would really think Miles is good at basketball, but every time I pass him the ball, he misses from, or every time I pass him the ball for three, he misses. Especially in the finals where he shot 21% from three. You can have your 8.6 rebounds a game, Miles Turner. Do whatever you want. Talk your. I remember one of the first things I ever heard Miles answer, or a question I heard him answer. Somebody asked him, "Hey, what's your first? Just got drafted, like something 15th or something overall, 20th. I don't remember what it was." They said, "What's your biggest goal for the Indiana Pacers?" He's like, "I want to be the CEO of my own business." That's your personal goal for yourself. That's all cool, but for the team, what do you want to do what do you want to do for the Pacers? The immediate answer, the only answer is win a championship. I don't think Miles Turner is a bad guy. I think that he's a little bit probably self-centered. Um, and I think that you have to have one thing in mind, and that's winning. And Miles Turner has money on his mind way too often, which you can tell by just listening to what I just said. So yeah, we got that out of the way. Let's talk a little bit about Jonathan Taylor. He is the offensive player of the month, as he should be. Jonathan Taylor probably the MVP to this point, if you ask most people. Um, it's crazy because Jonathan Taylor had a similar kind of season in 2021, where he kind of everyone was like, "Oh, this is." I don't know if it's necessarily an MVP season, but very good. One of the best seasons ever. Red leveling and rushing and all that. But this year's even better. He's on pace to break pretty much almost every single Adrian Peterson statistic that he put in 2012 when the last person who was a running back won the award. So yeah, I think that if anyone should win the AVP, it should be him. People outside of Indiana still don't believe in the Colts. You hear the national media; they're coming around a little bit recently, but really they don't believe in the Colts. They just count us out for whatever odd reason. They can't really come up with a reason other than that we're from Indiana and we're frauds. We're frauds. Nobody's a fraud, but anyway, were the Pacers frauds last year? No, they weren't. The Pacers just played better basketball than the teams that they fucking played, and even at times played better basketball than the team they lost to. But Achilles. Anyway, um, but nobody outside of Indiana give Pacers any respect until the finals, and even then they were like, "There's no chance here." So we're not gonna get any respect from any national media. I mean, that's okay, but like at this point, you're just showing the real reason why you don't want to, you know, talk about the Colts is because we're from Indiana. It's nothing to do with our level of play because our level of play is better than everyone's statistically. Um, so it's not that. So let's break down. So big matchup here. On Sunday. Jesus, I couldn't get that out. So we're gonna break down this game. Colts versus Steelers, big key matchup. The Colts head into Acrisure Stadium, which should be called Heinz Field still to face the Steelers. So just kind of talk about what both teams bring to the table and where some cracks might show. So the Colts are sitting at 7-1 this season, obviously, and the Steelers are 4-3. According to matchup predictors, the Colts are favored. One metric gives them a 58% chance of winning. Let's look on really quick before I continue on here. Why don't we just pull up DraftKings and see what right now the odds are? All right. So this is according to DraftKings. Colts favored by 3, just 3, and 79% of the bets are with the Colts. Excuse me. So and Jonathan Taylor anytime score is a negative 250. negative 255. And his odds for 2+ touchdowns are plus 210, which is very nuts, man. Um, but yeah, so betting is favoring the Colts. It's not necessarily always a good thing because sometimes when the betting favors a team so much, it just means that there's a bandwagon happening and a bunch of people are putting in the same bet or a bet for the same team. So sometimes it's not necessarily reliable. So strengths and weaknesses here. Let's get into a little bit for both teams. Yes, for both teams. So strength, Colts have led offense. Colts have led the league in scoring 33.8 points per game and averaging around 385 yards per game. They have a strong turnover differential at +8, putting them near the top in that category. They have built momentum. The recent wins shows consistency and confidence. So weaknesses for the Colts: big play or deep play. Defense still has potential holes. If I can read what I wrote, when they fall behind or fall into tight games, their ability to shoot close can be tested. Road game context, even though they're hot, playing in a stadium like Pittsburgh can bring different dynamics, crowd travel, and home team energy. I do think that Pittsburgh is a little bit tough place to play in. They're very passionate with their terrible towels and all of that stuff, so it will be a bit tough. Um, a couple of Steelers strengths and weaknesses here. Some strengths, the Steelers are still bring home field advantage and the comfort of playing in their building. That does always matter. They have a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who's completing about 68.3% of his passes, 16 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions so far. Their pass rush and veteran presence on defense can create moments, especially if the Colts slip up. The pass defense is not bad. However, their or not pass. Their run defense is bad. That's what I was trying to say. Pass defense, terrible. Worst, 30th in the league. It's terrible. Weaknesses. Speaking of that, defensively, the Steelers are giving up too much. Their offense and defense are essentially even in points scored versus allowed, meaning they haven't separated themselves at all. Their yardage allowed per game is high. The Colts already average 385 yards per game, and Pittsburgh gives up around 297 yards per game on offense themselves, which suggests potential matchup discrepancies. They have a historical disadvantage versus the Colts in this franchise matchup. The series favors the Steelers, but lately the Colts have been outperforming expectations. Key matchups to watch. Can the Colts offense impose tempo and exploit the Steelers' defensive vulnerabilities early? Can we move the ball down the field at a quick rate? Can we run our offense versus this? Can we come out passing, come out running, come out play action? Because yes, we mainly pass in the first half and run in the second, but I think personally that playing against a different team will be a different category, different strategy, and so it'll probably change if I had to guess. Will the Steelers manage to pressure the Colts quarterback Daniel Jones, and force turnovers, given the Colts' strong number or turnover differential, and one of the only few ways Pittsburgh could tilt the balance. Obviously, when you got a Watt brother, you worry about getting sacked, and it probably will happen. Daniel Jones will probably get sacked this year or this game if I had to guess. Will the Steelers manage to pressure the Colts QB and force turnovers, given the Colts' strong turnover differential? That's one of the few ways Pittsburgh tilt the balance. How about time of possession factor? If the Steelers can sustain drives and keep the Colts offense off the field, they will improve their chances. They do need long, meticulous drives down the field. The Steelers do, if they want to win this game. Momentum, the first quarter, and rhythm. If Pittsburgh jumps out fast at home, they could swing energy in their favor. If the Colts start hot, they may have command of the game. I think it all depends on who comes out guns blazing, playing their game, not letting anyone stop them. Who gets the momentum first? I don't think this is going to come down to like a fourth quarter situation. I could be wrong, but I think one of the teams is going to pull out quick and soon. I would give the prediction of the score something like a 27-23 range, with the Colts, just, beating the Steelers. But I think what's going to happen is the Colts jump out to a lead, and then in the second half, the Steelers are going to try to come back. But I don't think they really will. Final thoughts for listeners: if you're betting or tracking props, look at turnovers, sacks allowed, and early defensive response. Colts still players are likely to have high ceilings. Steelers might be more boom or bust. Like those Colts spread out their offense, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers is really kind of targets two guys, if you know who they are. For Colts fan, momentum is strong, and don't let the home atmosphere or Pittsburgh adjustments surprise you. I mean, it's going to be loud. It's going to be annoying to play there. No doubt about that. For Steelers fans, this is a chance to make a statement win. If you defend well early and force mistakes, the home crowd could propel you. If we get there and we do end up getting to kind of losing, um, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be tough for us to battle back. Although I think we will. But I do think it can kind of go either way. I feel Daniel Dimes works. Daniel Jones pretty much will have his way in a sense. Like what I mean by that is I don't think he's gonna just go out there and do whatever he wants, but have his way, and he's gonna be able to get these 5-7 yard dinks. He's gonna be able to get these completions to Josh Downs, make him miss a guy, gain 10. He's going to be able to pretty easily handle these intermediate passes. And as far as stats, the Colts are better in almost every single category. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers on the other team, you worry a little bit because he's Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day, and I do genuinely believe he could probably change any game at any point and any time. Because he can still sling that mother up. And our defense isn't the strongest ever. Not the strongest it could be. We could use maybe a couple more little pieces to try to work out. I don't think we're getting a pass rusher. I don't think we're getting Trey Henderson out. I don't think we're getting nobody like that. Um, so I could be wrong about that stuff, by the way. But I don't see it happening. That sounds like Chris Ballard operates. Um, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward being fired from LSU. So they were obviously bad. LSU were not very good, and then so they fired their coach, and then their Governor Jeff Landry, came out and says, "Hey, so we're not letting the AD pick the new coach. He obviously can't pick coach as well. So what do they do? And this is like the day, like maybe the day before this is all happening, right? So then it comes out yesterday that he Governor Jeff Landry says this. I'm not going to be picking the next coach, but I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful, and we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly, and we're going to put metrics on it, because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country, and then leaving the taxpayers. So people were upset about this. Just, I mean, they were upset. They were mad. They said that the government or the governor has no reason. I forgot to pick this up. If you couldn't hear me, I'm sorry. But a lot of people were mad at him, saying the governor has no really reason to be even discussing such a matter. I would disagree. I would say that if I know he shouldn't be picking the coach, and he's not, like he said. But I think some people did have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, let's see. Let's hear what Ryan Clark has to say about this. Why don't we? First off, it's the second most ridiculous thing he said this week. The first was standing on campus and saying he wanted to put a statue up of somebody that doesn't represent the people of Louisiana, doesn't represent the players, and it was Charlie Kirk, by the way. So Just letting you know.
Students at LSU doesn't represent the executives that work there. That was the first dumb thing he said this week. This is the second dumbest, right? Amongst a lot of dumb things that he says. Scott Woodard, for whatever he is a man who got Jay Johnson, right? Last I checked, the 2025 Louisiana State University Tiger baseball team was in the White House getting the GAT recently, right? He was there in 2019 when it's one of the greatest college football teams of all time. He also was there when he said, you know what, we're gonna go out and get Kim Mulkey, right? She brings a championship to the school with Angel Reese and with Flajay Johnson. And so to me, this is another situation of politicians.
Pause, Ryan, because just because he did a couple good things does not mean that he was good at being an AD. He did very bad contracts. Just, I mean, do 13 seconds of research to look at the contracts this man's put together, and you'll see that they counteract these good things that he's done. He was a terrible AD. He deserved to get fired.
Poking their nose into things that they don't know about. And I honestly believe it was so he can get in front of a microphone and say, look at this connection I have to the president, and he likes to pick winners so he can placate to somebody he idolizes.
I don't know why this man, who is currently speaking words, is on motherfucking ESPN. Like, this is a sports show. I care about sports, not about the president that he's talking about. Like, that's not what this is about. What it's about is this. The AD did a bad job. Governor Landry, being the leader of the schools are sanctioned by the state. Leader of the state is who? Thank you. So being the leader of the school saying our AD isn't doing a good job, we're getting rid of him. He's made bad contracts, bad coach, everything. That's all. That's a sports take. It got nothing to do with him saying I'm connected to Donald Trump. You want to hear that? You want to hear old Governor Landry talk about fucking politics? You can a lot, but this is not about politics. This is about football, Ryan. Okay, so calm down. Not everything's about politics all the time. He didn't do this for look at me. He did this because of college football. All right. I don't agree with either side all the way. I don't care about politics. I don't give a fuck about any of the politics bullshit. But what I do care about is you bringing up a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter on an ESPN show. Do you hear Pat McAfee in his interview talk about any of his politics at all? Nah. Hear about him on talk about the football. And when he started even getting a little distracted from the football, Pat McAfee was like, yeah, but this is about football. So, Ryan, if you want to talk about this, get on your own little podcast. I'm sure you got 4 of them. Get on 6 of them and talk about anything you want. Yap your little ears off. But in my personal opinion, ESPN, that's for sports. Keep your politics out of it, bro. Oh, they're silencing me. Oh, I can't speak my mind. Say whatever you want, bro. Get on your own network and talk about anything you want. But on ESPN, just talk about sports. If you don't like what Jeff Lynn, you think you don't think old buddy was a good AD. You want to disagree, all right? That's all cool. You don't have to. Old buddy was clearly not good at his fucking job, all right? I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sure you're a very, very capable man. I'm not advocating for you to be fired, but owe someone some damn money because this is Stephen A. saying this, by the way. How the hell do you justify that? Who makes those kind of mistakes? Who gets something to do like that? I mean, $130 million in 2 buyouts for 2 coaches. Not anymore. I mean, my God, that's bad. That's what Stephen A. says. So maybe talk to your buddy before you keep running your mouth. Bye, Ryan. Have a good day.